You know the man. He's got bunnies. Jason Richardson, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much. What's going on?
Working my tail off.
Hey, I see you doing all the interviews and working hard. That's good, bro.
Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
Tell me something. You are a dunker extraordinaire. You still got the hops. When you watch Kyrie Irving dunk this season, your thought process was what?
That's crazy. Kyrie is a guy that you wouldn't expect to dunk, especially with the way he plays. But to see him go out there and, get a couple of dunks coming down the middle, that's just crazy, man. It just make him that much more better, seeing him do stuff like that.
The Timberwolves are busy. They've been busy all this season. Anthony Edwards is literally, it's like watching a kid in the hood jumping on a box spring or jumping on a mattress and having fun. What has been your observations of Ant, and how can he stay healthy and still remain springy at this age?
You know what, seeing Anthony Edwards play is reminiscent of, my era of basketball, the early 2000s. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. He plays with a lot of pride, a lot of passion. You can tell every time he's on the court, he genuinely loves basketball. It's just good to see guys that play like that all the time. So I'm excited to continue to see him grow and have a healthy future, having a healthy career. I think he's just going to be an amazing player for this league.
Rich, tell me something. Who will end up being the next Vince Carter?
Ooh, man. Quiet as kept. It's this kid at Michigan State. He's developing his jump shot. It's very similar to what I used to do, but he jumps higher than me. His name is Cohen Carr from Atlanta, Georgia. One of the bounciest kids I've seen. He has a chance to be the next Vince Carter. He's working on his game. He's super athletic. He's working on his skill set, but when you see this kid jump, you're going to be impressed.
What did you enjoy most about your time in Golden State with the Warriors?
The fans. The fans in Oakland, the whole Bay Area, they were just very loyal to the Warriors, especially those years of losing. And, they showed up every night. They was cheering us on, and they just gave me so much energy. So every time I think of the Bay, the first thing I think about is those fans and how loyal they were to us during those losing years. So it was good to see, Clay, Steph, and Draymond come in and getting some winning ways and winning 4 championships with KD also. That's what those fans deserve because they're a very loyal fan base.
So you were actually part of the We Believe Warriors era?
Yeah, I was. I was part of the We Believe Warriors era. That was the first winning season they had in 14 years. I don't even think we won, but to make it to the playoffs is the first time in 14 years. And every time I remember about the We Believe team, it just brings back excitement and memories.
So you were on that team with Matt Barnes, Baron Davis, and all them?
Yeah, Matt Barnes, Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Monte Ellis, Al Harrington. Just a group of guys that band together and did something special in a short amount of time.
Why were you guys so motivated to beat Dirk and the Mavs that year in the playoffs?
It wasn't necessary motivation. It was just a group of guys that just wanted to go out there and play hard. And you had a former coach, Don Nelson, who coached the Mavs. He taught Dirk all his things, so we almost kind of had a cheat sheet against the Mavs, but it was just a great experience.
In your mind, who is the modern-day Dirk Nowitzki?
Man, that's hard. It's really hard to say who's Dirk because Dirk was so special. I could say a little bit of Jokic, but I think they're totally different players, but he kind of has that slow motion game that, it's hard to defend him.
Jason, during your woo, listen, I don't play.
Got hot for you, huh?
A little bit.
Got hot for you.
Tell me something. When you played, who was the biggest shit talker that you went up against when you played in the NBA?
Early on in my career, it was Gary Payton for sure. And later on, it was Kevin Garnett. So those two is probably in the Hall of Fame of shit talkers. But it was always fun playing against those guys.
Okay, so you said Gary Payton, you said Kevin Garnett. I need a story for both.
Oh, man. Let me see. Gary Payton. The first time I met Gary Payton, I was in college, and we were playing against the USA team. He was on it, the team that went to Australia with Vince Carter and who else was on that team? Jason Kidd, that team. And we're playing against them, and Gary Payton just D'ing up Jason Williams from Duke. And, the whole week he was just D'ing up. We get to the game, and the first play of the game that Gary guard Jason, he fouls him and pushes him up onto the bench. And Gary just barking at him, just in his face, like trying to punk Jason Williams. And Jason Williams turned around and says, "You're not the glove, you're the mitten." And it just set Gary on fire. Gary just like, the fuck you talking about? So that's my Gary Payton story. KG story, we was rookies in Golden State with Gilbert Arenas, and Gilbert was talking junk because we was kind of winning the game. And KG went to the line, and Gilbert was like, oh, don't worry about this off. And Gilbert wasn't playing that much. He was on the bench. And KG turned around and said, shut the fuck up, look. And Gilbert was like, I'm going to shut up.
If I ever need a story, now I know I got to come to you.
Absolutely.
Brother, you've been nothing but helpful, and you're definitely inspiring the culture. What do you have, before we let you go, what do you have going on next?
Nothing much, man. I had 2 sons going through the process of playing basketball. I just dropped my oldest son off to Michigan State where he's playing basketball at. And then I got a sophomore, about to be a junior in high school. So I'm just enjoying being a dad and watching their progress of playing basketball.
So today we learned, shut the F up, and that Gary Payton is not the glove, he's a mitten.
Absolutely.
All right, you off the hot seat.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother.